Good evening, everyone. Welcome in. I am Michelle with Yes, Michelle Crochets. And if you were here based on the title of this live stream, 9 times out of 10, you either understand burnout or you want to know how to avoid it. But either way, I want to say welcome. Thank you for being here tonight. I am going to turn on the chat so I can see what everybody has to say. Good evening, Miss Kitty Lane. Welcome in. And yes, a lot of us either have or are currently facing burnout. This topic hits home for me because I'm exiting the experience of burnout. And I want to talk to you guys tonight, particularly about not just that it exists, that's an obvious. What I want to do is give you some tips, tools, and strategies on how to deal with it. Good evening, my beautiful Flossom Crochet, aka Marty. Welcome in. One of the things that I experienced when I recognized that what I was dealing with wasn't fatigue or ADHD or whatever title we wanted to throw at it was that I was legit burned out. I was burned out in multiple ways, not just the career path that I've been on for over 30 years, but I was burned out as a content creator. And I want to talk about some of the things that I recognized and how I got through it. I'll be so happy to say exiting. Exiting is the key, but I'm going to show you how we'll do that. Good evening to the lurkers. Good evening to those who will catch this as a replay. I hope that this serves you well. So let's get started. Um, and by the way, for those of you who are here tonight, do me a favor in the comments section. Would you please share with me some of the things you've noticed in your journey, currently or in the past, associated with particularly creative burnout? But no matter what you do for a living, if you have felt burned out before, share with us what that looked like for you and how it made you feel. I'm laughing because you guys are already talking in the comments. The one thing I don't have to do is tell you guys to communicate with each other. You do it so well. And as Kitty so kindly reminded us, please hit thumbs up so that the YouTube algorithm, who we've already talked about, knows that you were here and knows that you're enjoying my content. And I greatly appreciate you for doing just that. Now, who am I and why does this topic necessarily relate to me? The answer is simple. I'm a Gen Xer. So I've been around the planet for more than 50 years, double nickels to be exact. I'm also the mom of two adult children. Of course, I am a content creator who happens to be forward facing, meaning you see my face on camera. But I don't just have one channel. I have two that everyone seems to be learning about, one that they know about, one they're learning about, and one that I haven't shared yet. So I'm a triple threat in the content creation niche. I'm also a full time home daycare provider. One of my adult children is someone with an intellectual disability. Good evening, Melissa. Welcome in, and thanks for being here, my love. And on top of all of that, I'm a content creator coach. So not only do I create all of those systems, I have to do all of the things associated with keeping those things running. And that's quite the challenge, especially from the content creator component, because not only am I the talent, not only am I the person who sources all of the information that I share on screen, meaning I'm the research tech. I am the person who sets up all of the systems, whether it's the music or I put the audio pieces together so that you can hear me clearly. I have to create the hair, the face, the da da, whatever that may look like. The bottom line is every aspect of content creation before I press the button to go. That's on me. Then, once the camera turns off and this becomes a presentation, I have to source the title, the description, the taglines, make sure it's SEO friendly. Look at how it's doing in the algorithm. Engage with the content and the comments in the comments section. You see, this goes on and on and on. And then when I was doing this 5 days a week or sometimes six, I had to be ready to do this again the very next day. That was the reason I wasn't always eating. I wasn't sleeping well. I was overwhelmed because despite the fact that I had a system, I was running myself ragged trying to come up with how to engage. I was prioritizing the wrong things. You see, one of my priorities was growing my channel and growing my channel faster than I probably should have been doing, or making that the focus instead of making quality content and creating those permanent relationships with my audience. And it doesn't mean I lost my audience, I didn't. I've been blessed that you guys have watched me spiral right in front of you and you've loved me through it. YouTube is definitely a full time job. It most certainly is. And if you work an income generating job in addition to the job that is YouTube, you spread yourself extremely thin. And like I said, I have two channels up and running right now and doing all the content creation associated with that. Burnout is something that I had to be ready for, and I want to show you how to deal with it. What you can expect as a content creator, or maybe someone who just experiences burnout in general. I want to share with you some of the things you can expect to get from tonight. I'm sorry, you were doing too much. Yes, Kitty, YouTube is a full time. Well, you're right, and not necessarily. Too much is, if you're enjoying it, it really isn't too much. If it becomes a stressor, then the answer is yes. And it was becoming a stressor because I was focusing on the numbers and not on the relationship. When I made a paradigm shift to focus on the relationships, creating quality content, and only doing what serves me with the anticipation that the audience it's designed for will receive it, I started breathing again. And that felt really good. I wish I could spread my body like I spread my time. Oh, I don't even want to do that to my body. That's not fair to my body. That's too much spreading. Now, for you, what I want you to take away from tonight is how to develop a system to enjoy what you're doing as a content creator or as a person in general. And you know, your girl's got her notes. So bear with me when you see me looking at the camera and then suddenly looking down. I want to make sure that I'm giving you all of the nuggets that I was able to come up with to help you create and construct a system that works well for you. First, let's define burnout, especially from the content creator perspective. But if we need to dive deeper for everyone else, I will happily do that too. Because, like I said, I'm not just a content creator. What is burnout? It's more than just that feeling of being sleepy, or it's the moment when you're sitting in front of the camera and you know you need to hit start so that you can get started with your video and you can't hit start because you know the words aren't there. It's pressing that button and looking at you and knowing that you have nothing to say. You know you're sitting there preparing to share a tutorial or a conversation about yarn you just acquired or a new system that's going on or even a sale, and you can't talk. You're picking yourself apart. My hair's not right. My my whatever. My room's not clean. I really need to do ABC. You're chugging down the coffee instead of drinking water. because you don't care about what your body needs. You have to give it energy in order to say the next word, do the next thing. Hey, Zach, welcome in. Please share the Coke. I do need it. And at the end of the day, you've accomplished little. You haven't produced a video that you're proud of, or you pick it apart in post production when you're editing. I shouldn't have said this that way. I should have done this that way. When a 45-minute conversation that you want to share with your audience turns into a 10-minute video, it's very easy to recognize that you're probably burned out. Keep in mind that there is a very unique pressure on content creators. Why do we do this to ourselves? Because in the beginning, especially, we have something we want to say. The thing that we often do is we let outside assumptions influence our internal conversation, and that changes who we are in front of the camera and who we are at home away from the camera. So, all of us wear multiple hats. Like I said, I have plenty of jobs. The last thing I needed was another job, but I have a passion to share the relationship between my mental health experiences and my love of people with my passion for crochet. And that intersection caused me to want to turn on my channel and create the videos that I do. But keep in mind, we aren't just the front face of our cameras. We're our skip writers, our script writers. Can you guys tell I've been up for quite a few hours? No worries. We're also the people who market our videos, i.e., write those taglines, write those titles, create those thumbnails. We do all of those things. And everybody's saying, hey to Zach. Zach said, can I have carrots? LOL. You do not want carrots. Don't play here. Be good. So it's a cultural thing in the sense that we're always trying to be on when we're on camera. What I have found in talking to many other content creators is we're often on even when we're not on camera. And it wears you out. In my case, as someone with a very limited social battery, it literally means I have no interest in doing anything beyond my experiences here as a content creator. And that's not always good. I need for you to take away this very point right now. Burnout is happening and it can happen to you. You need to look at yourself and ask, am I fussing at family members, being short with friends, refusing to answer emails and text messages because I am worn out, or am I honestly burned out? It's okay to change your schedule, your system, or anything else in your life to give you the breathing space to find your creative voice again. So that's something I want you to be putting in the back of your mind. Am I being sincere to my creative voice? Or am I expecting it to be like the Energizer Bunny and just keep going and going and going? Because the truth is, it will run out. Even Energizer batteries die. So don't kill your creativity by making unreasonable expectations of yourself. Now, the journey that I took and my warning signs. I'm sorry. I think next week, I think next week, because I'm working 6 days a week, you know what? He is saying the exact right thing. In fact, let me see if I can get that up there. He said, I think I'm going to take a break next week because I'm working 6 days and I need a break from YouTube. Absolutely. That is a smart decision. That is going to help you avoid that feeling of burned out, going too far for the expectation of the audience. The audience is going to be there. And if they leave, and you continue to be you, the thing that initially drew them to you will bring them back. So, subtle signs we often ignore. Sometimes it's not a sudden crash, but a slow fade. Things like endlessly scrolling, looking for inspiration for something to create, or finding excuses not to film or to edit, or becoming irritated with friends and families who mean well when they're asking you, "How are you today?" And you fuss. Maybe it's your physical health taking a hit. You're sleeping poorly, or maybe not at all. You're waking up in the middle of the night when you used to be a sound sleeper. For me, it was all of those things. It was seeing a positive comment from someone saying, "It's a platitude, they don't really mean it." When in truth, they probably genuinely meant it. And I was so worn thin that everything was a prickling experience for me. And Zach says, "I feel like I'm disappointing people by taking a break, but my mental health is more important to me." It's more important to us all. We, as the content creator, as the face, as the talent, need to show others not just wonderful tutorials. We need to show them what self care looks like. We're the model for the things they do. We're not just going to teach them the new loop de loop, experience in crochet. We're not just going to show them the new way we style our clothes or wear our hair or whatever. We're not teaching coffee. We're teaching humanity and how to enjoy life. If we're doing anything else, I'll be honest with you, it won't last. Indecision about what to create, that's how it shows up for me many times. And the sleep thing. Yes, yes, indecision. In my case, being fully ready to sit down and start a video at 4 a.m. and then glancing off to the distance and realizing it's 5:30 and I've not uttered a word. It has happened plenty of times. So let's talk action, because I mean we can doom scroll the negative of this experience, but let's talk some ways to get through it. I find that I constantly put myself in a race with myself. Yes, same, same. I'll have an outlier of a video that does really, really well, and then I'm upset with myself when the next video doesn't do as well or better. Or I'll have an experience on one of my live streams that I can't undo. And yet I pick myself apart for the next 2 weeks about why that happened the way it did. So when I fail, it's glorious and devastating at the same time. Yeah, it truly, truly is. So let's get into the good stuff. I'm laughing because I happen to know both create and relate and floss them away from the camera. And I have shared with them so many times when I was probably on the brink of tears because I was feeling like I was failing if I could not be on camera for a day because something away from camera needed my attention more than pressing that play button. And it's always okay to not be okay. I say it all the time, but I don't always hear my own words. So, one of the key strategies for getting through and getting over being burned out is structuring activities and experiences away from the camera. For me, it's scheduled not downtime, but uptime. Time where I'm planning to do something that has nothing to do with YouTube. And I literally don't share it. As a content creator who crochets, half of my video is, "Hey, Mama Witch, welcome in." is me crocheting. So you're not only seeing my hands do the work of my crochet, which sometimes is the only chance I get to crochet in a given day, but this is also you seeing what I'm making, what types of yarn that I'm using, so on and so forth. When I go to the store and I see a yarn that excites me, the immediate thought in my brain is that won't look good on camera. And then I don't buy it. That's unfair to me. This is not exclusively my only place to crochet. I'm sorry. Zach said, I always feel like a failure because I listen to those bullies who say I'm a failure and I can't get them out of my head. I wish I could. Zach, if people who are saying things to you are ugly, you need to have conversations with people that don't say ugly things to you. That means turn them out and off. Mama Winch says, Marty, did you see the picture? Okay, that has nothing to do with me. Melissa saying hi to Marianne. And Kitty Lane says, I'm the opposite, Zach. I get the kudos back and hyper criticize myself. Yes, it's the imposter syndrome reaction. Someone says something great to you and you have to pick it apart because you don't want to believe that is true. Yet, if they said something ugly to you, you would defend that item. Learn to retrain the conversations that are going on in your head. Okay, Mom Winch, I love you, but I'm getting distracted because I want to ask questions about that and I can't. So if you guys can help me out a little bit and let's stay focused on the conversation that we're talking about tonight. But then expect me to be in your chat tomorrow asking all the questions about that. Anyway, reconnecting with the things that you were doing before you became a content creator are going to ease some of the stresses that we experience with burnout, such as those family times that you would have, whether it was having a cup of coffee with one of your friends or maybe your children, maybe it was sitting down watching something on YouTube or Netflix. Anything. Oh, no, you did nothing wrong, babe. You're great. And I'm glad you're here. I just get, you know how I am. I always want to know all the things. So I have to stay focused. Oh, no, no, please. This is what I'm asking of you. Please share your experiences and your conversations. I want to know because there's no way we can demystify what burnout looks like as a content creator unless we, as content creators, get real and get raw about what it looks like for us. It helps our audiences understand why maybe for 2 weeks you don't see us because we're recentering, recharging our batteries, and restarting our systems so we can come back and give those audiences what they came for. Michelle makes me feel comfortable enough where I can. I'm so glad I do. I'm so glad I do. It's what I'm here for. It's what I love to do. I love to love on people. And one day we will have a raw conversation about why I feel the way that I do. But tonight I'm going to get back to this. You have to find joy offline. Diversify what your inspiration is. Like, I am a prolific crocheter. I love to crochet. Like, there's yarn everywhere, including in my car, with a hook that matches that yarn weight. Sometimes I have to turn YouTube off and just look at a movie. And that's the exact right way to recharge and in charge those batteries back up to the levels that we need to be. Sometimes this has happened for me, and it may happen for many of you. You'll be looking at a television program, a commercial, listening to a song, and you get an inspiration for something that you want to share in a YouTube video. Or in my case, I'm looking at a commercial and I see a shirt, and then all of a sudden I want to make it. And that shirt could have been anything but knit or crochet, but that's okay. It inspires me to want to pick up my hook. Does that mean I also need to turn on my camera? No. There are things I make for me that I never bring in front of the camera. And that's where I find my peace, my passion, and my joy. I think I'm going to start scheduling movie time because it helps with the physical creation part. Absolutely. Absolutely. Again, and I did a whole series on Level Up about how to create strategies and systems to try to minimize those downtrodden experiences of burnout. Did it still happen? Absolutely, because I didn't take my own advice. I use apps like Hero Assistant, and I have my Zooms scheduled for the most part, except for the ones that I do for my members only. But my Zoom meetings are scheduled through my Stand store. If somebody needs to have a one-to-one meeting with me, they schedule it through my Stand store. I'm not trying to remember that I can't go to my P.O. box. By the way, Kitty, your item is at the P.O. box that arrived today, and pick up the mail because I need to be available for a Zoom. I let Stand store handle that. I'm not trying to remember all the other parts of my life and the content creator parts. I have a schedule. I stick to the schedule. If it's not on the schedule, it's not happening. Don't call me on Saturday at 8 a.m. and ask me, hey, can we go to breakfast? No, I have something to do at 9 and something to do at 10. And as important as the people away from my camera are, my commitment to my channel is important to me. And this is the part that makes me smile and bring me joy. I can say no. And it's a complete sentence. And it is respected because they know my no is no. It's not, oh, let me convince her. This is not a sales opportunity. This is a no. Just as I am, yes, Michelle, I am fully versed at saying no. The key is quality, not quantity. Absolutely well said. I made the mistake of looking at the numbers and thinking I had to pay. See, again, focusing on the numbers. I don't have enough numbers in subscribers. I don't have enough numbers as members. I don't have enough watch hours. Those things will come. Your audience will come. Focus on what brings you joy. You are not person X. Do not look at other people in your niche and see their trajectory and assume that's supposed to be your story. It's not. There are plenty of people who started channels well before me, whose channels are ginormous compared to mine. And do I sometimes look at that and go, why am I not growing that fast? The answer is because I'm looking at their month, 56. And I'm barely, today is the 11th. I'm not even at month 11 yet. Give myself space and grace. And you need to take the same advice. I say this as your internet content creator coach. You can do what you're supposed to do when you can. That includes take a day off. If you're hyper worried about where you're going to be in the algorithm, if you take off a day or a week, a month, or a few months, then where you can, batch create. Go live, make a connection with your community, then turn the camera off and leave it alone. It does not serve you to show up and spiral because then you'll go viral for all the wrong reasons. Say equals sit. I'm confused with that one. When I say back and thought about it, when I sat back and thought about it, I realized that slow and steady usually means committed. Exactly. Exactly. Fast growth isn't always sustainable growth. There have been times that I've seen things I've done generated a vast influx of subscribers. They'll come either to watch you spiral or to watch you soar. Will they stay? That's a whole other issue. Focus on why you turned your camera on. What is your why? Are you being authentic to why you're sitting on that side of the camera making the videos that you're making? For me, you guys know one of the things I live by is a system. Even as I pull pieces away because they're no longer serving me, such as Book of the Day Thursday is on pause. Will it come back? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that yet because right now my focus is taking care of Michelle and giving Michelle a summer break. Like I said, I am almost 11 months into almost daily content creation while raising an adult with an intellectual disability, being the primary income generator for my household, making sure all the systems that need to be in place for everyone in the household are here. Whether that is the fact that I don't do the dishes, but I have to make sure that there are dishwasher pods available. I don't use the body wash that my son uses. But when he leaves to go to school on a given Sunday and he needs a bottle of body wash, there needs to be some available for him to take. And I don't want to stop everything I'm doing in my day to go to the store to find out they didn't have it this week. So, by setting up systems where things are predictable, by having resources of a stockpile, yes, your girl coupons, available so that I'm not last minute running out the door because there's no milk or paying 3 times the amount that I should because I have to DoorDash an item. Creating systems. You guys know when you come to Yes Michelle Crochets on Monday, she's going to have a video. Motivation makes Monday. Previously, I had Terminology Tuesday. I've covered all the terminology that I want to cover. Is there more? Absolutely. Am I covering it? Absolutely not. But thanks for asking. Then, because I choose to share with you some of my whips, I share during Whip Works Wednesday. It is so difficult to be organized. It is, Melissa. It absolutely is. One of the reasons, although it's not in here, it's in my living room, I keep a planner. I literally write down everything that I know I need to get done in a month, from the bills that need to be paid and when they need to be paid, to special videos that I plan to drop, to special lives that I want to talk about. I can tell you right now, every live stream that I am going to do for the next 7 weeks, because I have a system. I write it all down. I create the plan before the action needs to happen. Melissa, my problem with organization is outside influence and changing my plans. Where is it? She puts it on. This is who I listen to first. This is who I listen to first. I decide what we're going to do. I don't let others tell me, you need to make a video about crochet pants because it's all the rage. Everybody's making bucket hats. You need to participate in yada yada's crochet-a-thon. Mm-hmm. I hear you. Welcome to Yes Michelle. We're here. We do what Michelle wants to do. And it sounds mean and it sounds cold and it sounds harsh. But I have a schedule and I don't let people change it. I know that's the blessing in my case of having adult children. I don't have the experience of grandkids, and that's a unique experience that is beautiful, but it's not my testimony. So I can't speak to that, but I can say as much as you can. Adhere to your systems, adhere to your schedule, make space to say, you know what, I planned it to go live, but grandbaby number two is not feeling well and I can't go live today. Turn it off. This is where having batch recorded video production that you can plug in a short, or you can plug in a pre-recorded video that is evergreen that you could have played in June or August or December or February. Any of those pre-recorded videos that have no timeline on them will save you and serve you at the time you can't turn your camera on. You guys saw it with me last week. We've been having tornadoes blow through St. Louis in a way that I don't think I've ever seen in my life. I had power, I didn't have internet, so I couldn't go live. And that was okay. I was able to use my phone to make a post to say, I can't go live tonight. That was the end of that. I didn't worry about it. I moved on with what I could do. So that part of it is just my own experience. And I wouldn't change being a grandmother. My kids have just told me because I had a home daycare all their lives, I can have grand puppies. I have a grand turtle. I'm thinking of recipes for him in case any of you wondered. Exactly. Kitty, I totally understand that. And again, you're going to have to create the system that works for you. About the pre recorded, I'll say. Yeah, the things that will happen in time. Storms have been bad this year. They've been bad for the past couple of years. Last year, I've watched you go through plenty of the experiences of storms, Marty, and I truly, I was more worried about you as a person than I was you as a content creator. Weather may be an influence, but it's nerve wracking. Oh yeah, oh yeah. How about sitting in front of your camera and all of a sudden your audio goes out? That's not burnout. That's just an influence that you have no control over. So, like I said, those are the things that you can control. Sometimes you can't. But setting up a system and creating a schedule, things will change. Sometimes you expect to sit down and talk about a particular yarn haul that you've ordered from a website and it doesn't show up. Now you've got to flip around your schedule a little bit and talk about something else because you can't talk about that yarn haul yet. Or you're participating in a crochet along and the person who you are watching with that thing doesn't drop the video. Now you're stuck. The content you were planning isn't available. Have backup plans. Create a system with a backup plan. Have a schedule. Make space for a break for yourself. Find projects that you have no intention of sharing on camera because otherwise you're not only going to lose your projo, you could very easily lose your channel. Let me see, I'm sorry. Technology. Ugh, I know. But they are part of the burnout cycle. They can be. They can be. But again, go back to your why. Why do I want this channel? What do I want to say? What about this is fun for me? If you can't answer those questions, please don't turn the camera on. I needed this talk today. Thank you. My pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for listening. I, like I said, Burnout is reality for many of us. And how we deal with it or how it shows up looks different from person to person. For me, it looks like chaos in my central working space. It was so bad that there was stuff all over my bed, stuff all over the floor, stuff all over my chair, stuff everywhere. And I didn't say yarn, I said stuff because I had no use for it, no purpose for it. I didn't want to deal with it. I just looked at it and walked out of the room. I stepped over and around and then sat in this chair and gave the impression everything was okay. The truth of it was I was burned out. I was exhausted. Many of you know I lost my dog, one of my two dogs, several months ago. I never dealt with the grief of it all. I just moved it over here and I let it go. I never shared that that dog was my everything. He was my baby. And not talking about it wasn't the right way to deal with it. Sorry, lovelies, but it's time for me to start. You know what, Mama Winch? I absolutely know and understand dealing with your system and doing what you need to do. Big hugs to you. I love you, darling. Every word. See, I'm not the only one. Like I said, these are the signs of burnout. They look like chaos. They look like someone inviting you out to dinner and you go to this restaurant enough to know what your favorite meal is and simply saying, I don't know what to eat. Or you're a cook who has a passion for cooking and you go in the kitchen and you don't know what to make. You end up eating cereal or PBJs and grilled cheese and other things that aren't passion foods for you. They're just food, something to feed the body. Not what you need, it's just what you can handle. It's not good for you. You need to remember where your passions lie beyond this experience of content creation because at the end of the day, you're more than a content creator. I am more than Yes Michelle. Melissa said, I'm slowly clearing the clutter. I still need to organize the crochet and knitting patterns. Girl, pray for me. Pray for it's cyclical. I have a whole bookcase sitting right here of things I need to go through and document. Which books have I done videos about? Which books have patterns in them that I love that I want to do? And document when I want to start and finish them because startitis is real too. Um, I also want to remind you guys, please set realistic expectations and set yourself up for success by celebrating the small wins. Whether a small win for you looks like you changed the sheets on your bed, or a small win might be you went into your bathroom and you cleaned your mirror. That's a small win. Be proud of that because kind of like the snowball effect, if you've ever had a debt that you needed to pay off, once you pay something off, you feel the momentum to keep going because fed those endorphins to keep that energy hyped. Cleaning off a nightstand will make you feel excited about cleaning the floor space in front of it. Kitty said, just kidding, but serious too. YouTube helps with the burnout with these doggone crowns. You know what? I'm contemplating turning those off. Not because they're not fun or engaging, but sometimes they can feel like pressure too to be number one or number two or number three. Is my crown dark purple or light purple? Why? Why? Why not just be here? Why not just engage with your friends and engage with your host? Let's see. I'm sorry. Change the sheets. Girl, why would you come? I was talking about me because I just changed the sheets yesterday. I tried. to change the sheets once a week. Sometimes once a week might be once every 2 weeks, once every 3 weeks. Three, I'm lucky, has been the limit. But those are usually days that I have slept in my recliner because I knew I needed to change my sheets and I didn't. True, true. Let's see, you and me both. Oh, see, apparently there's a community of us who are putting off things because we're burned out in some capacity of our lives. I will share that part of my life away from the camera is my home daycare. And I was allowing something to occur that I should have put a stop to months ago. I was allowing a family who needed to move on to continue to be here because it was easy and convenient. It wasn't serving the child, it wasn't serving the family, and it was killing me. I was miserable. I was irritable. I'm 5'4", and I was short, not just in stature. I was short in conversation. I was short in my engagement with people. And no matter how strong my system is, if the things that I do outside of YouTube are killing me, it's gonna show up on camera. It's gonna show up. And the same is true of you. You're not your best you on camera if you're not happy away from the camera. And that's why I always tell you guys, have real conversations with real people in your life. I have to do it. There are people who I can say anything to. And a lot of times, I don't make those times available for them to talk to me or me to talk to them because I'm running. Sometimes I'm running away from something. Sometimes I'm just running because I'm on autopilot and I need to stop and remember my own why. So I say to all of you, we have about 10 minutes left. Has this conversation been helpful to you? What has it brought to your consciousness about burnout and how to get past it? Because the overarching thing I want to share with you is burnout looks different from one person to the next, from content creator to content creator, from mom to mom, from generation to generation. But what's true for all of us is by restructuring our systems, by giving ourselves permission to enjoy things again, we can fix burnout. So that's just my tiny TED talk. So Melissa said, because I'm disabled, I need to have a lady come in and help me once a week. I just love fresh change sheets. Oh, they are so good. I feel guilty though because I'm not being able to do much. Melissa, there are things I can't do. I have a vanity. Okay. Okay. Real moment. See, y'all get me. Anyway, real moment. A couple of weeks ago, I went to the doctor, and the doctor mentioned, and it wasn't that I didn't know. I have a bad knee, and I've been getting shots injected into the knee, and it was helping. This last time, it seemed to make it worse, not better. So I explained to the doctor, it didn't quite do what I thought it would. In fact, it hurts. The doctor said, well, there's a couple of things I need you to do. And I'm like, I know, lose weight. Yeah, 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 that's it. You need to use your cane. And I'm like, okay. Meanwhile, I didn't listen. I own a cane. I didn't use it. I took my son to go get his hair cut. And this is after I picked him up from school for the summer. We came home. I parked in my spot, was walking down the stairs. And my niece said, by the way, remember that cane you didn't carry? And I hit the ground hard. I had to be able to get myself up, and I live on the second floor. So I still had to get up all the stairs to get to my apartment. I was running in the house so that I could go live. I had to change my clothes, fix myself, and remember what my doctor said. That also meant because I fell, I had to make a phone call the next day and say I fell. And the doctor's reply was, "Did you have your cane?" And I'm not going to lie. No. Why? Because I didn't want to carry it. Do you understand now? You have to. Yes. Hi, Sarah. Thank you for watching. Thank you. So, when outside people who know more than you tell you something, listen. If the people around you are telling you, slow down, slow down. If doctors are telling you, you need to sleep more, you need to eat better, you need to do it. You guys have watched me most every morning from the time I began my channel. I had a cup this big filled with coffee and I drank it. Now, mind you, it was protein based coffee. There was 50 grams of protein in it. But 50 grams of protein is not 150, which is what I need to start my day. 150, not 50. I heard what I wanted to hear and was doing what I wanted to do. And the end result is I'm not where I need to be health wise. So a surgery I need to have, I can't have. Not yet. It's coming. I've made changes. You see my tiny coffee cup. Oh, I want more coffee, but I can't have it. I need to eat real food, and I do. I need to have real conversations and check in with real people. And one of those people is probably watching in the distance right now. And as soon as we have an opportunity, we will be talking before your birthday. So, Kitty said, I lost 85% of my mobility last year. Started doing certain exercises in bed that would get the circulation going. Although I have a small bit back, it is a plus. And I am now doing chair yoga exercises and exercises that I can do without doing direct damage and impact to my knee. Like many of you, despite the fact you see me from this way up, there's a lot going on. And I have to take care of me. I need you to take care of you. Are there any questions that I can answer other than to tell you I love you? I genuinely love you and I'm proud of you. Whatever you do as a content creator and as a person, I love you. I needed to say that to you. So, guys, we have about 5 minutes. If you guys don't have any other questions or anything you want me to cover about burnout tonight, I'm going to call this conversation to a close. And I'm going to go step in my steaming shower with my eucalyptus steamer. And I'm going to relax because I've earned it. And no, you won't see me tomorrow because tomorrow is Thursday. But I will see you guys on Friday for Freedom Friday. I love you all. I hope you have some fun today. And I can't wait to see you next time. But until then, take care.